Good evening, all. I'm audible. Anyone, please confirm. Okay. So, warm welcome to each and everyone who joined this masterclass. Myself, Adeline Sheila from AllPro Trainings, is presenting this masterclass to you people. So, before we get into the webinar, let's have a look about AllPro Trainings. Kindly watch it. So first of all, I'm going to give introduction about AllPro Trainings. We are providing all kinds of training, especially the IT technologies, electrical, electronics, and soft skills. In the IT technology itself, we are providing more than top 100 technology trainings all over the world, telling about our achievements. We have already trained more than 10,000 students all over the world, especially in USA, European countries, and all over India, in which most of the students are placed in various MNCs with excellent packages. We are providing 3 types of trainings. The first one is the master class that you are attending now. The second one is flash course, which will come for either 5 to 10 hours. The final one is the full course, which will come for more than 35 hours. So now I am going to explain about what are the things we are going to see in this master class. The first one is a participant's introduction, which is for 10 minutes. Then the masterclass content is for 40 minutes, in which the trainer will exclusively explain all the topics. Then 20 minutes, it's a session to ask your queries regarding the masterclass topics. Then the APT students guide explanation is for 5 minutes. After that, the APT offers session for the participants who joined the masterclass today, which is followed by the feedback session for 5 minutes, in which we will share the feedback link. You should attend the masterclass carefully and fill the feedback form completely to get the certificate. The certificate will be sent to your email ID that you give in the feedback form within a week. So provide correct email ID in the feedback form. So participants, please wait till the end. We'll be providing the feedback link at the end of the session. So kindly fill the feedback link to get your e-certificates. Certificates will be sent to your mail ID within a week. So now you people can introduce yourself in the chat box. So please introduce yourself in the chat box. Tell your name, whether you're a student or working professional. Please introduce yourself in the chat box. Hi, Nikita, a working professional. Hi, Divaka. So please mention whether you're a student or working professional. Hi, Clayton. Hi, Shivashankar, you're a student. Hi, Sharad. Hi, Ravi Teja. Hi, Vishaka. Hi. Hi, all. Please introduce yourself. So today we have Mr. Abhishek, a well-experienced trainer who has more than 7 years of experience in IT field. He has trained more number of students, and all the students he has trained are placed in MNCs. So he is going to present the Ansible webinar today. So Mr. Abhishek, you can present now, sir.
Hello, thank you so much. Before I start, please confirm whether I'm audible properly or not. Guys, please
You're
confirm.
audible now. You're audible.
Okay, thank you so much. We have around 26 participants. Thank you so much for joining with us on this webinar on Ansible. Before I start something, let me give a small introduction about me. This is Abhishek. I have I have more than 7 years of experience in working in the various cloud platform like AWS, Azure, and GCP. These are the most used cloud platform you can see in the market, and I have worked on various DevOps tools as well, like Git, Maven, Docker, Ansible, Kubernetes, and a few of the monitoring tools like Prometheus, New Relic, Datadog, so and many more. So that's it. I will not brag about myself. That's it. A small introduction. Let me share my screen, and I will explain about what exactly the agenda for today. Okay. Is it visible? Is my screen visible properly?
Yeah, visible.
Okay. Okay. So today webinar is on Ansible. So today what we're gonna see is actually how to automate the configuration management with Ansible. How you can automate the configuring your servers using Ansible, that we're gonna see today. Okay. So let's talk about what exactly the agenda for today. So agenda is like I will be giving you the introduction about the Ansible, what exactly the Ansible and why we use Ansible. Um, Before Ansible, what was the scenario, means what was the legacy approach we are following to automate um, uh, our servers. Okay, so I'll be explaining you all these things in the introduction part, and once we understand what exactly the Ansible is, then we'll go further and we'll try to understand the architecture of the Ansible. What is the architecture, how the Ansible has been designed, how it works. So we'll be understanding all these things in the Ansible architecture part. Sorry. Then we'll see how to install and how to configure the Ansible, the installation and configuration part, how we can install the Ansible on our master machine, and how we can configure our nodes with the Ansible in order to automate the process of configuration. Then we'll be talking about the what is exactly the ad hoc command is, how we can configure your server using the commands. Means that the other command is like a one-liner command, so we'll be seeing that one. And at the last we'll see what exactly the Ansible playbook is, and we'll see the demo on that as well. Okay, that's actually the agenda for today. Okay, so let's start. Let's talk about what exactly the story before Ansible. As I told you that we'll try to understand means what was the legacy approach of configuring our server. Okay, let's take an example of a task. Like we have 100 servers and we need to automate the process of installing some of the package like Vim, wget. It can be anything, but I have taken an example, Vim or wget. Okay, I just want to automate the process of installing. Okay, so that is the reason what I means what I can do. If I want to download and install all this package, first thing I have to log into the server. Then once I log into the server, what I have to do, I have to download all this package by running all this command yum install wget -y, or in order to install the Vim, yum install Vim -y. So these are the command to install the all these two packages I have mentioned over here. Right. So what we are doing, first we are logging into the server, then we are installing the two packages. That was our task. Now, in order to do this task, how much time we are taking? We are taking 6 minutes to install these two packages on each server. As I mentioned over here, we have 100 servers. Then how long it's gonna take? 100 into 6 minutes. How much? 600 minutes it's gonna take, which is means basically the 10 hours of time. So it's taking too much of time, right? So that was the goal. We just wanted to automate this process instead of doing it manually. How we can automate this process? So in order to automate the process, suppose I am very good at the cell scripting. Okay, so what I'll do, I will write a script. What I'll write first in the script, you can see, I hope it is visible properly. Let me maximize a little bit. Yeah, I guess it is visible properly. What I did, I just I have written a script. What it is checking, if you'll see here, it is mentioned like first it will go and check whether the Vim package has been installed or not. Once it finds that if it is installed, then don't do anything. Then if it is not installed, then install it by running the command sudo yum install Vim. Right, this is the command I told you over here. Similarly, I just want to install the wget as well. So in the wget part, what I'm doing, same thing, I'm just verifying whether it is installed or not. If it is installed, then don't do anything. Then if it is not installed, then install it. So this is the script I have written to install it. Now, what is a challenge with us? I have written the script. Either I will go to the each server and log in and run this script. Otherwise, in order to automate further, what I did, I have written another script. You can see over here, the another script. This script, what it is trying to do, it is automatically connecting to each server, and through the scp command, it is copying the script, I have written install.sh. It is copying the script to each server where I want to install these two packages. Okay, now it is copying, and after copying, it is running that script itself. So what is happening? Every time it is connecting to server and copying the installation script and running the script, and the script is installing these two packages. Now what is happening? What it will do, it will one by one, it will copy it is means it in the series manner, it will try to connect to each server, then it will install this these two packages. Now, what we did, we just automated the process, right? Here we are manually logging into the server and installing these two packages, which was taking 6 minutes of time in each server. Now this time it will take 3 minutes of time, because we are not going and manually logging into the server. It is taking 3 minutes of time for each server. And if we'll compare with the 100 server, it will be somewhere around 300 minutes, 5 hours of time, right? Guys, I can see the chart. That screen is not visible. Is it true? Hello? Please confirm.
Yeah, it's visible.
But in the chat, few people are saying that I can't see anything. Whoever is not able to see, could you please rejoin the meeting? Please confirm on the chat, everybody, whether you are able to see.
To everyone, sir. You continue, sir. You can continue.
Okay. Yeah. So this time we saw, though I have written a script, it is taking 3 minutes of time on each server, and for 100 server, it is taking 300 minutes. Okay. So successfully I have automated this script, right? But if you see here, this script, in order to do a simple task, just to install two packages, I'm writing a lot of code, means a lot of script, lot of command, lot of lot of things I have mentioned over here, like the commands and what is the procedure I have following to install these two packages I have mentioned over here. Now this sometimes, though it is a very simple task to install two packages, it's very easy. Now if we'll compare with the some of the complicated tasks, it might be very difficult to write the script as well. It will be whoever knows the script, it will be easier for them, but though whoever doesn't know how to write a script, it will be very difficult to write the script and automate. And if you'll write the script also, you have to test it properly. Sometimes it doesn't work, and you have to multiple times in the hit and trial manner, you have to verify whether your script is properly working or not. And that is the reason a lot of complexity is there in the scripting as well. So what I can do is, let's try to automate the same task using some of the configuration management tool. So we just understood what was the approach, legacy approach to automating this configuration. Then let's try to understand what is the configuration management tool. Okay, so configuration management tool, the Ansible is one of the most popular configuration management tool. We have a couple of more, like Chef, Puppet, Salt. We have various tools like Ansible. All are the configuration management tool. When this tool introduced to the market, what it is doing, let's just try to understand what it will do. We saw that in the script manner, what we are doing, in the series manner, we are connecting to the each server and doing our configuration, means installing these two packages. But in the configuration management tool, it will do the same task in the parallel manner. What is the parallel? Means in one shot itself, it will install the packages in all the server. So what it will do? It will not connect each server one by one, and it will do this. As I have mentioned here, Ansible will execute a task on the all server parallelly. So it will take only the 3 minutes. So we saw that when I was doing it through the script, it was taking 300 minutes, and which is equal to the 5 hours of time. But in case of configuration management tool, Ansible, it will run the whole task. Task means the task we want to perform, means installing those two packages. So these two packages installation it can perform within the 3 minutes of time. It will parallelly connect all the server and it will run it. So that is the benefit of configuration management tool. And it is very, though we are writing it in the YAML format, what we have to do, we have to write a YAML file, which is called the playbook. And once I write the playbook, what I have to do, I have to run it in the Ansible master machine. And the master machine will try to connect all the nodes where I want to configure all this. Then it will install these packages. Not in this case, it is installing, but we'll see means a few other things also we can do achieve with this configuration management tool. Okay, so you can see it is very easy to write, right? If we'll compare with the script I have written. So this is the configuration management tool. We understood what exactly it is. It is the tool which will make our life easier in the sense of in configuring our servers. Okay, now we understood what exactly the configuration management tool. Let's just try to understand means how it is performing, what all the things. It's not only the configuration management, we can achieve a lot of things with the Ansible configuration management tool. So let's see what exactly we're doing. As I told you, Ansible is an open source and automation tool. It is open source, it's a free of cost. You whoever wants, they can download and use it. You don't need to pay a single penny. And it is very simple to set up and very powerful as well. So don't think that if it is very simple to set up and it will not be having that much of power to configure your server. It is very powerful. How it is powerful? Because lot of modules we have many modules to achieve our task. We'll see everything one by one, how we can perform all this thing. Then the Ansible will be helpful to perform configuration management tool. Configuration management, as I was talking all the time, that it will do the configuration management tool. Not only the configuration management, we can do the application deployment, task automation. Okay, so any task you are performing on the server, you can automate that task. And the last, IT orchestration. Okay, so these are the various things that Ansible can perform. Now let's try to understand what exactly the Ansible architecture. I hope everybody understood what exactly the Ansible, what is the configuration management, and how it is making our life easier, right? Okay. Now let's try to understand what exactly the Ansible architecture, how. Okay. If you'll see this diagram, you will find one, this is actually the Ansible master machine. This is actually a server where we'll install the Ansible. The master machine, we have to install Ansible, and the master machine will try to connect all the nodes. So these are the nodes you can see in the left side. You can see now it is in the diagram, it is 3 nodes, but you can connect as many nodes you want. Then what exactly it will do? What is the work of node and what is the work of master machine? The master machine is the Ansible controller from where you will trigger your playbook. Playbook means whatever the automation you want to do, you will trigger from this master machine. Now, the node machine where you want to configure. Suppose in the example we saw, we wanted to install the 2 packages, wget and vim package, right? So where I want to configure this, where I want to install it, that is called the manage nodes. Here in this left side, you can see this, all these are the managed nodes. And here I will automate the process of configuring these servers using the Ansible master machine. Now, what we'll do first we'll take one server and we'll install the Ansible on the master machine, and that will be called as a Ansible. You can call it Ansible master machine or controller. It can be anything. You can call it anything. Now, once you install it, you have to take the IP address, means IP address of all the managed machine, and you have to configure it in the inventory file. There will be an inventory file where you have to put all the IP address of the managed machine. Why to put the IP addresses? Because if you put the IP addresses, that Ansible control will get to know where I need to connect and I need to configure the servers. Okay, so though I'm mentioning all the IP addresses in the inventory file, whenever you will run any playbook, it will go and verify the inventory file where it should connect. So in the inventory file, though I have all the IP addresses of the server, it will try to connect each server parallelly, and it will run the playbook which I have mentioned. Okay, now how it will run it? In order to run what exactly it does, actually, suppose I have a playbook. We saw, right, one simple playbook over here. This is one of the playbook. Just consider this one. Then, and this playbook, whenever I will run the playbook, it will go and verify where it should run those playbook. Then in the inventory file, I told you all the IP addresses of the managed node will be available. Now it will go and take all the IP addresses from the inventory file, and it will try to connect. How it will connect? If it is a Linux machine, the managed node where it needs to configure. If it is a Linux machine, then it will use the SSH to connect to the server. If it is a Windows machine, it will use the WinRM to connect to the server. So there are two things. If it is a Linux machine, it will use the SSH to connect to the server. If it is a Windows machine, it will use the WinRM. Okay. Now, once it will connect to the each server, it will try to push one module, means which is called Ansible module. Which Ansible module? There will be some module. I will talk about it in some time with great detail. But it will try to copy the Ansible modules to the all the managed node. After it copy all the modules to the managed node, it will try to execute that module on the managed node, and once it is done, it will delete the copied module from the managed node. So this is how it works. And if you'll see here, we are not installing any agent in the managed node as well. It uses the SSH to connect all the managed node. Though we are not installing any agent in any of the node, it is called the agentless architecture. So what is agentless? That Ansible controller, it doesn't use any agent to connect to the managed node. So it is called the agentless architecture. So using SSH, it will connect each server and it will configure. I hope everybody understood. But if we'll compare Ansible with the other configuration management tool, Chef, Puppet, it actually install the agent on the managed node. So that is the agent-based architecture, but this is called the agentless architecture. Due to that agentless, it uses the SSH to connect each server and configure all your server. So I hope you understood what is the architecture. Once I will show you the how to install the Ansible and how to configure it, then we'll try to understand what exactly the inventory file, what is the Ansible CFG. This is the configuration file of the Ansible, and how we can maintain this inventory file to connect the managed nodes. So everything we'll see with the great details. Don't worry for that. So I hope you understood what is the architecture of the Ansible, how it connects to the managed node, how it performs the configuration, how it automates the process of configuration. Okay. Okay. Now let's see what means how we can install this Ansible. What I have done, actually, I have created two nodes. Two servers in the Amazon Linux, that one will be the master machine and another is the node. Okay, let me create another node as well. In order to create, so that you will get to know how I am creating a server in the Amazon AWS cloud. Okay, I'm selecting the key so that I will be able to log into the server using this key. Okay, my server has been launched. Let's go and verify. Give it a minute, it will come online. You can see it is in the pending state. Let me name it as a node 1. I have one. Make it as node 1. I have two nodes, means two managed node, where I will do the configuration, and I have one master machine. And the master machine, I will be installing the Ansible, and we'll see how to install the Ansible and how to configure. Okay. I have already logged into the master and one of the node machine. Let me log into the node which I created just now. So I'll be using the mobile XTOM to connect all the machine. Mobile XTOM is one of the SSH client. EC2 user. So though I have created it in the Amazon, so username is EC2 user, and I'll be providing the key to connect to the server. You can see I have logged in successfully. Now you can see I have logged in to each server. This is my master machine where I will install the Ansible, and all these two nodes I will be using as a node machine where I will automate, means how we'll see how we can automate the configuration. Okay, so let's just try to install it. Yeah, before I show you the installation, there is a prerequisite of the in order to install the Ansible. The prerequisite is in the control machine. Control machine can be Red Hat Linux or CentOS, Debian, Ubuntu, any of the Linux flavor. But as of now, there is no way we can configure the Ansible controller on the Windows machine. Your managed node can be Windows machine, but you cannot install Ansible on the top of Windows machine. Okay, so this is the one point that you should know. Now, the second prerequisite is, in order to install Ansible, you need to have Python, because Ansible has written on the Python. That's the reason we need to have a Python. The Python, it can be Python 2, means 2.7 version, or it can be Python 3 version, which is higher from 3.5. Okay, so you can use this two version, means either Python 2.7 or Python 3, which is the higher than 3.5. Okay, let's verify whether I have installed Python or not. Okay, so what I'll do, before I check, let me update my operating system. In order to update my operating system, I will be running the command sudo yum update -y. Okay, so I have updated my operating system. Now let's verify whether I have Python or not. So in order to check that, just run the command Python --version. You can see I have Python 2.7. So this is enough. As per this document, you can see Python, either Python 2.7 or Python 3 version, which is the higher than 3.5. Okay, now I have installed the Python, means I have already Python in my system. So I don't need to maintain that. If you don't have, please install that. And make sure it should be either Python 2.7 or a Python version which is higher than 3.5. Now, as I already told you, Windows is not supported for the control node, so you cannot install the Ansible on the top of Windows machine. Now, so there are three ways we can install the Ansible. What all these three ways? Either using the yum means one of the package manager. This is actually for the yum is the package manager for the Red Hat based Linux. But if you'll go for the Ubuntu, you will find the apt-get. So using any of the package manager you have, we can use the Ansible. And though I told you that Ansible has written on Python and we have Python, so we can use pip. Pip is the Python package manager. Using pip, we can install the Python as well. Otherwise, we can use the compile file. Compile file means we can download all the binary from the internet and we can configure. Okay, so if you see here, this yum, in order to configure the Ansible, if you use the package manager yum, it is very simple to configure. Okay, so I'll be showing you how to install the Ansible using the yum package manager. Because why yum? Let me show you. Because it is a Red Hat based Linux. Okay, that's the reason. It is Amazon Linux, and Amazon Linux is a Red Hat based Linux. That's the reason. Okay, let me show you. /etc os release. You can see it is a Red Hat based Linux, Red Hat CentOS Fedora. So that's the reason. The package manager of Amazon Linux is the yum. Okay, let's go and do the installation. In order to install, we have to install the EPL repository, because Ansible is not part of the yum package manager. So we have to install the EPL repository. We have to add that. How to add the EPL repository? I have mentioned in this document. If you'll see here, the command is sudo Amazon Linux extra install EPL. EPL is a repository where we have the Ansible package. Now, once we add this repository, EPL repository, we can install the Ansible using this yum command. Okay, we'll see that one. Let's go ahead and run the command sudo Amazon Linux extras install EPL. So this is the procedure to install Ansible on the Amazon Linux. If you'll go and if you are trying to install the Ansible on the any other system like Ubuntu, CentOS, then please go ahead and follow the documentation. You will find all the details in the documentation. I'll show you just a minute. Ansible installation. Okay, so if you'll search the Ansible installation and the fast link, you will see here it is mentioned the various way you can install the Ansible. Now, if I'll go here and search, because though I have a Amazon Linux, it is a Red Hat CentOS or Fedora based, you can follow this document. Or if you have a Ubuntu based system, then you can follow this document, and all the procedure has been mentioned over here. How to install? Just simply follow this procedure and it will be installed. Okay, now let's go back and install the Ansible. Okay, so you can see I have added the EPL repository, and Ansible is the part of EPL repository, and using this EPL repository, I will be installing the Ansible. Okay, then after you add the EPL repository, you have to run the command sudo yum install Ansible. The -y so that it will not ask for the prompt whether I should install or not. Okay, so this is the command to install the Ansible. It will take a minute to install the Ansible. Yeah, now it has been installed. It's too fast because of the internet connection. Okay, now we have successfully installed the Ansible. Let's verify whether it is installed or not. How to verify? The command is Ansible --version. You can see Ansible, it is showing the Ansible version 2.9.27 has been installed, and the configuration file, Ansible configuration file location, it is mentioning over here. This is the configuration file, and this is the module path. I told you, right? It copies the module. So all the Ansible module has been written, and it will be stored in this path itself in your system master machine. Now this is the Ansible executable location, and this is the Python version. This is the Python version we have in our system. This 2.7.18. Okay, so Ansible installation is done. Let's go to the location to understand what all the files we get after installing the Ansible. Okay. Let's go to the location /cd etc Ansible. If you go to this location, if you do the ls, and you will find there are two files. One is the Ansible CFG and one is the host file. Okay, let's understand what is the Ansible CFG. VI. So Ansible CFG is actually the configuration file of the Ansible. So if you want to do any configuration in your Ansible, then you have to come to this file and you have to configure. So this is the configuration file we have for the Ansible now. And we have another file, host file. What is the host file? Hope you have remember I was talking about the inventory file. This is host file is actually the inventory file where we'll mention all our managed node detail, where Ansible, so that Ansible will get to know where it should connect and do the configuration. And you will find one folder. This is the roles folder. So what is the roles? Actually, roles is basically you will write the playbook, and if you write the playbook, you have to have some mechanism where you can, manage it in the structured manner. So that's the reason we have Ansible has a role. Using these roles, you can the same playbook, you can put it in a structured manner, and you can run it in the multiple environment. Okay. So these are the three things you will find in the once you install in the Ansible. Now, so we saw how to install the Ansible. Now let's go and see how to configure our managed node. Though I told you that Ansible has written on Python, so we need to have Python on all the machine. If you don't have Python, it will be a bit difficult to work with it with the node. But we have to use the some different way to configure the managed node. But in order to work Ansible properly, we need to have a Python on each machine. So let's verify whether we have Ansible Python over here. So Python --version, which will show you the Python version on the system. You can see I have Python 2.7. Let's verify in the another node as well. Python version. In the both the node I have Python. If you don't have, please install. Let's update this all the operating system. Sudo yum update -y. Let me update the another node as well. Sudo update -y. Okay, now update has been done. What I will do, in order to configure, I will be taking all the public IP of the managed node, then I'll put it in the inventory file. Let's see how to do that. I'll go to the AWS page and I will copy the public IP of the managed node. So I copied one public IP. You can see this is the IPv4 public IP address. I copied, and let's go to the master machine. And in the master machine, we have to go to the host file. Okay, slash, the location is /etc, then Ansible, then host file. Okay, let me open this file using VI so that I can edit now. So you can see all this example there, how to mention our server. Let's delete all this, we don't need. Okay, I have deleted everything. Let's put our IP address. Let me go to the insert mode. Let's put, okay, this is one IP address. Now let me go to the copy and another host node machine IP address. Sorry. Yeah. So I have copied all the IP address. I have put it in the inventory file. Let's save this. Okay. Now I have saved the managed node detail on the inventory file. We'll do the cat etc Ansible host. You can see I have mentioned over here, so that Ansible will be able to connect to all the sub. Now, while connecting, how it will connect? In order to connect this server, we have to, as I already mentioned, it will SSH. Now, in order to SSH, it needs either password, right? Username, user credential. So how it will connect to these nodes? In order to connect, we can use the either password authentication. Otherwise, we can enable the passwordless authentication. Okay, so in the password authentication, what we have to do, we have to go to each node and we have to create a user and we have to set the password for that. Then we have to mention over here the username and password. So that is the one way. But today we'll see how we can enable the passwordless authentication so that Ansible managed node means Ansible controller, or you can say the managed machine, will be able to connect to all the managed node without any password. Okay, in order to do the passwordless authentication, first we have to generate the key. How to generate? There is a command ssh -keygen. Okay, so this is the command. Just run this and just press enter. You can see our key has been generated in the location in the home directory of this user. I have logged in as a EC2 user. In the home directory, you will be having a folder .ssh and file which will be having the public IP, that is ID_RSA and pub. This file will be holding the public IP, and another file I have ID_RSA. This will be having the private key. Now after you generate the key, we have to copy this file to each managed node so that it will, while connecting, it will be verify that it doesn't need password. It will be our managed node means our Ansible control will be able to connect to the managed node using the key. Okay, so that is what called the passwordless authentication. So how we'll copy? In order to copy, what I'll do, let me copy my key over here. Okay, this is my key. By using this key, I'm connecting to my all the AWS instances. So I have to copy this key first, and I will create a file over here, vi AWS key.pem. Then just press enter, go to the insert mode and paste the key. I have copied the key. Using this key, I will try to copy my public key to the all the managed node, because in order to connect to all the node, this is the key Amazon provided. So using this key, I will copy the public key to all the managed node. Okay. Now I have to change the permission as well. Chmod 400. ls-lrt. You can see the permission has been changed. Only root has the read permission. Okay. Now let's try to connect to each managed node and copy this file. Okay. In order to copy, either you can use the SCP, but though I have the key based authentication, so I cannot run the SCP command over here. What I'll do, I'll be using another command. This is the command I have mentioned. If you'll get, once you get all this PDF, Word file, you will get this command. I'll explain what exactly it is doing. Okay. So it is trying a cat and the public key location. So it will read the public key and it will try to SSH to all the managed node, and it will copy this key to each node in the location in the home directory .ssh authorized key. There is a file it will copy over here. Now, in order to do that, I have to use the key which I have created, -i, then AWS PEM, then I have to mention the user credential. I'll copy public IP EC2 -user @ okay. Now it has been, the key has been copied to the one of the managed node. Let's copy to the another managed node. Copy the public IP, go to the host, same command you can copy. You can see both the key has been copied. Now let's verify whether my Ansible is able to connect to all these nodes or not. How I will verify? In order to verify, I'll be using the Ansible ad hoc command. Okay. So the command is Ansible, and then I have to mention the where it should check. Okay. I'll mention all means it will go to the inventory file I was talking about just sometimes before. It will go and it will take all the IP address, means whatever the IP address is mentioned. So because of this all, it will take that one. All -m for which module I want to use. The module is ping module. You can see it is giving success output. So it is able to connect to each managed node and it is able to ping to all the managed node. Okay. So you can see here ping, when it is trying to ping to all the node, it is getting the pong output, means it is able to connect to the server. Now we have successfully installed and configured our Ansible. Now let's try to understand what exactly the module. I have been talking a lot of time the modules. What exactly the modules? So in order to automate our task, okay, we have a lot of module. Ansible already defined all the modules. Ansible. You can see over here, this is the documentation page of the Ansible. You will find modules related to all the applications. Suppose you want to work with the networking, then you will get all the network related module. Now, if you are a database admin, then you need to have a database module. So we have already database modules. Using this module, you can configure all this. You can configure your database server. Now, for Windows also we have. Let me show you one of the simple module. If I'll search Ansible yum module, you can see this is actually the one of the module, yum module. Using this, we can install any package in the managed node. You can see over here yum module, and in using yum module, it is trying to install the HTTPD, which is the Apache, and this is the version, latest version, the HTTP Apache latest version it will install. So we'll see that how we can write this playbook, and we'll see everything. Before that, let me talk about the what is exactly the Ansible ad hoc command. Okay, now though we have already configured our Ansible, so installation and configuration part is completed. Now let's try to understand what is the playbook, and we'll try to understand the what is ad hoc command. Now, what is our goal now? Once the configuration is done, we need to connect, we have to configure all the managed node I have, right? In order to do that, you can use the either two ways. One way is the using the ad hoc command, or another way is the using the playbooks. So what is exactly ad hoc command? Ad hoc command is actually the one-liner command. Okay, and using this ad hoc command, you can perform one task at a one time. You can do anything, but one task at one time. Suppose I want to ping. I already ran one of the ad hoc command. This is the ad hoc command Ansible, and on which server you want to use. Okay, let me show you something. Let me copy one of the IP address. Okay, you will see here I have mentioned all, right? All means it is taking all the IP addresses from the inventory file, which I configured sometimes for the host file, and it is trying to ping all this server. Now, if I want to ping only one server, I will mention the IP address, and in order to ping, Ansible has a module, the ping module. So in the ad hoc command, the command syntax will be Ansible, then on which host you want to run. If you mention all, means all the node which is there in the inventory file. Then you have to mention the ping, sorry, not ping, you have to mention -m for the module, then the module name, and after that, if this module has some argument, you have to put -a, then you have to mention all your arguments. Okay, the ping module doesn't have any argument. I can simply run it. You can see here. This time it is running on only one node. It is not running on all the node. When I was putting all, means it was taking all the IP addresses from the host file, means inventory file, and it is trying to connect to all the nodes, and it was trying to ping because I have mentioned the module as a ping, right? Though over here I mentioned only one IP address, so it is trying to ping only one server, not both the server. I hope you are clear all this point, right? Now, so we understood what is the ad hoc command. Let me tell you one more time. Ad hoc command is a one-liner command. If you want to perform any task, you can use this ad hoc command, but you can perform only one task in one time. And it is not a preferable way you should follow the ad hoc command, because you cannot keep track of it. If you write a playbook is a file, YAML file, where you will mention all the configuration, all your configuration where you want to perform. Then you can keep it saved in one of the version control system, so that tomorrow also, if you want to do the same configuration on few more server, you don't need to write it again. You will be having all this playbook. If you follow the ad hoc way, again you have to come and run all these command. So that is the benefit. If you, instead of running the ad hoc command, if you go for the playbook, you can keep track of the things, and you can run this playbook many times. Whenever it is required, you can run it. You don't need to write it again. Okay, so I hope you understood what exactly the ad hoc command are the not help. Ad hoc command is helpful when we want to perform only one task, and it will not be helpful if you want to perform multiple tasks in one time. Okay. Okay, now let's try to write a playbook and perform our task. Let's see how to write a playbook. So in order to write a playbook, how we'll write it in a YAML file. Though Ansible supports a YAML file, by writing a YAML file we can write our playbook. Okay, let me name something. Demo.yml. The YAML extension is either YAML or YML. I have created, and let me copy that module so that it will be easier. I don't need to write it again, and I'll explain what exactly it is performing. I hope this font is properly visible. If not, let me maximize a little bit. Okay, it is not allowing me to maximize, but that's fine. I hope it is visible. Now you can see the file has been written in the YAML format. Why YAML format? Because YAML is a markup language, and it is a human readable format. It is very easy to write all the configuration using the YAML format. You can use for the JSON as well, but it will be a bit difficult. It is not user friendly, but if you want, but you can go for it. But I will be using the YAML format to write a playbook. But if you'll see here in the playbook, here I have mentioned the name. So I just mentioned what exactly I am trying to perform. This is this setup and HTTP web server. The HTTP is basically the Apache web server. So this whole playbook is trying to set up the HTTP web server on the managed nodes. So this time I will be, configuring, means I will be configuring the web server on all the server using the Ansible configuration management tool, and I will be automating the process. I will not go to the each server and do it. It will run the playbook parallelly on both the server, and it will do it. Now, so host, on which host I already explained while explaining the ad hoc command. All means it will go to the host file, and it will try to connect to all the server, and it will perform the task. Which task? These tasks what I want to perform, that you have to mention in the task section. Okay, just make sure while writing YAML file you are maintaining the proper indentation, otherwise it will fail. Okay, now this is the task. This is one task. What it is doing, it is using the yum module. So this task name I have mentioned over here, install Apache packages. So this task, first task will install the HTTP web server, means Apache web server. How it will install? Using the yum module. Why yum module? As I told you, all my nodes are the Red Hat based Linux, so the package manager is the yum. If I would be having a Ubuntu web server, means not web server, Ubuntu node, then I will be using the apt package manager. Though I am using a Red Hat based, I am using the yum module because my package manager is yum. Okay, using yum, it is mentioned the name section. I have mentioned over here HTTP means which package you want to install. Okay, now which package I want to install? I want to install HTTPD. Now, what is the state? State is present or absent. It can be present or absent. What is present? Present is means it will install the HTTPD. Absent means it will uninstall it. Now, after you install the Apache package, what you have to do? You have to start the Apache package, right? Without starting, we cannot access our web server. So how to start it? We have another module. It's called the service module. It is already defined. The community has already written the code for this service module and yum module as well. So because of these modules, we have lot of modules related to the network configuration, database configuration, server configuration. So we have lot of modules already. Red Hat has been developed and made it available to make our life simple. So that's the reason we are using all this module. Sometimes if you want to perform any task when you don't have all this any predefined module, you can also write your own module using Python. Okay, but though for our task we have already defined module, we'll be using that one. First, I used a yum module to install the Apache web server HTTPD. Then in order to start the HTTPD service, I'm using the service module. Service module, same. Name is the HTTPD because I want to start the HTTPD package, and state. What is the state? Started. I want to start it. Okay. I hope you understood what is the means how to write the module. First, host. I have mentioned host, on which node it will run. Then the task section. I'll be coming to this become what exactly the become in some time. Then the task section, you can mention all your tasks, what exactly you want to perform, everything you will mention over here. Once you write it down, all the configuration, then you simply go ahead and run the command. It will install, means it will configure all the server at one time, and it takes very less time to configure. So that is how it is making our life simple. And if you'll see here, it is also very easy to write, right? We have already defined module. Simply go and copy that module from the documentation page and write your playbook. Okay. Now let's talk about this. What is exactly the become? I hope you remember when I was trying to configure my Ansible, when I was trying to install, I was giving sudo, right? What is sudo? Sudo is actually the because my EC2 user in the server, EC2 user doesn't have any root permission so that it can install anything and it can configure. In order to do configure, we need to have a root privilege. Though EC2 user has a root privilege, I was mentioning sudo, then I was running the command. Sudo means it will give you the root privilege. So that is the reason in the Ansible playbook, you have to mention that in the become tag. Okay, become, it should be true. Become means if you write the true, it means you will run all these tasks as a root. Okay, now let me copy this playbook and go to the node. Let me clear the screen. Okay, I'll create one file, demo.yml. You can keep your YAML file with any name, but you should keep it as some meaningful name so that tomorrow if you'll come and to see, it will be you will be able to recognize it. Okay, without, I will give it something like web server .yaml. Okay, now let me go to the insert mode and paste all the playbook. Okay, now let me save it and go back. In order to run the playbook, see here, I have the playbook. In order to run it, you have to run the command Ansible -playbook. then your playbook name. What is my playbook name? It's web server, right? Let's run it and see how it is installing. Did you see how easy it is? How it is, means easily it is performing all the configuration, how it installed our Apache web server on both the nodes. Okay, you can see it is showing the changed to, there is no failure, means configuration has been done, and though it is done, it is showing the okay. Okay, now let's go and verify whether I'm able to access my web server from internet or not, because I have installed a web server. What I'll do for that, I'll be copying the public IP of each managed node. You can see I'm able to access the default Apache page, right? Now, similarly, if I'll go to the another node, I'll copy the public IP. You can see on both the server, I'm able to access the web server. So that is how you can do your configuration. This is a simple playbook I have written, but you can write as complex as you want your configuration. Whatever the you want, you can do using the Ansible. This is how it is managing our configuration. That is how it is called as a configuration management tool. And using this tool, how we got to know how it is making our automation task simple, how making our life simple. Okay, so that's it for this demo. So we'll go ahead for the Q&A section. You can please go ahead and ask if you have any question related to this Ansible. Thank you so much. So please ask if you have any question.
So if you have any queries, please ask in the chat box.
Yes.
Any queries? Please ask in the
Guys,
chat box.
if you have any question, this is a Q&A section. You please go ahead and ask me the question. I'm here to answer all the questions.
The question, what if I want to run module on one server only from host file?
Sorry, could you please repeat that question?
What if I want to run module on one server only from host file?
Okay. So as I did it on the both the server, let me show you. Let me go back to open the YAML file. This time what I'll do, I will install Git. Okay. I just want to install Git. State will be present because I want to install it. If we'll mention the absent, what it will do, it will, if Git is already installed, it will uninstall that. Now, though your question is you want to install on the only one server, right? So what I'll do, I'll be going back to the AWS page. I will copy one of the public IP address. Now you can see the host I have mentioned, right? So what it does actually, whenever you run this, it will first go to the host file, means inventory file, and whatever the host you have mentioned over here, it will it will try to connect all those hosts and it will perform all the tasks you have mentioned over here. Okay, so let me put one of the IP address. Okay, now I have put one IP address and I'm trying to install the Git. Let's go back and try to install Ansible playbook and the playbook name. Did you see? This time it only installed on the one server. Now I'll be showing you one more thing also. I have to uninstall because I haven't showed you. It will mention over here absent. Okay. Run it. It will be uninstalling that. And after uninstalling, if you will run this playbook many times, just see here what's happening. Simply I ran it. You can see change is 0. How many times you will run it? If it is not there, it will not do anything. It change is 0. It's just ran successfully. It is showing okay, but though it doesn't have any failure, so it is mentioned the failure is 0, but it doesn't do the change. When last time I ran, it change is 1, means because it's uninstalled one package, so change is 1, but this time change is 0, so nothing happened. It simply ran it and performed the task. Clear? Hello? Please ask if anyone has any more question. Please ask.
So any queries? So, okay, I hope the session went well for you. So thank you so much, sir, for this amazing masterclass. It was quite interesting.
Thank you, everyone.
So all of the topics are covered are very clear and it's very helpful for us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining with us on this Ansible webinar. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us.
So guys, now I'm going to play the feedback of one of our students who got trained in Selenium.
Okay, I'll be stopping my screen share.
Hi guys, I'm Aishwarya from Chennai and I'm working in testing background. I'm a manual tester come automation tester. As I needed some help with automation training, I reached out to from API trainings. So he suggested me to take up the Selenium Java course, and I got a very good guidance from AP training from Rahul and IRPA from AP, and currently I have got an offer with a 120% hike, and I definitely got the confidence and courage to switch to another company only after completing this training. And I would definitely suggest you guys to get into AP trainings and get yourself moved to a better career. Yeah, thank you.
And now I am sharing the feedback or review from our students. This is the review from our Selenium student. Just now you saw the feedback video. So next is the student from review from Python Mohana Priya. to improve her skills. And next is the review from our Blue Prism student. She told the trainer is very professional and she would refer AllPro trainings to others. Next is the review from a UiPath student Munidhar Reddy. He says the way of teaching is very excellent. He also prefer AllPro trainings to others. And next is the review from a SQLDBA student. And this is a review from our USA student from USA, Parveen Bono. She took a Blue Prism course from us. After taking training from AP, she switched her job from teaching into IT field. She told she felt 100% worth for the money she paid. This is a review from another student, Surya, who learned SQL from AP trainings. He was also placed with a very good packages. And next is feedback from a non-IT student, Anis, who took Blue Prism course and got placed in IT field. And this is also the feedback from our student Elias and currently working in an MNC. And this is feedback from our Java student. Soundarya from US, who recommends AllPro trainings for a better future. So these are the feedbacks and reviews from some of the feedbacks and reviews received from our students. So now I am going to share the APT students guide. So how we will be giving training to our students. So APT students guide. So in AllPro trainings, we'll be following 5 courses. First one is the simple learning methodology. Next is students recall, creative explanation, fingertip materials, and additional bonuses. So in single learning methodology, once you join the course, every day you will have the class for 75 minutes, in which we have divided the 75 minutes into 6 sessions. The first session is for 10 minutes, in which you people can ask the previous day class queries to the trainer. The next session is for 20 minutes, in which the trainer will take set of topics for that day. The next session is for 15 minutes, in which you people have to practice in front of the trainer. In the fourth session, the trainer will take the next set of topics for 15 minutes. And in the fifth session, which is which is again a practice for 10 minutes. And the sixth session, it's a final session. You recall all the topics you learned on that day for the 5 minutes. So totally it will be around for 75 minutes. And some learning pyramid. So the learning premise shows that if you are able to accurately and correctly teach a subject to others, you will have a good mastery of the concepts. Our students are trained well to this level. In creative explanation, different kinds of learnings are available: e-learning, e-coaching, collab learning, and virtual classroom. Nowadays, you can get everything on the internet, but you don't know how, don't know exactly what will help you to find a job. Our training is structured in a way the trainer will guide you to select what you needed exactly. So it will be like a virtual classroom. You can clear all your queries directly with the trainer. So all class notes will be provided. We'll be following the mind map method in AllPro trainings. And all class notes with the pictures, diagrammatic flow explanation, and training notes in a single notebook will be provided. So from day 1 till the end of the course, all live classes will be recorded, and the required software will also be provided in the shared drive. So you will get live courses as well as the recordings for the same for future references. And additional bonuses. So once you join AllPro trainings, you will get free interview session. We'll be giving a lifelong community support, job links. We'll help in preparing resumes, and will guide you in getting professional certifications and LinkedIn recommendations. So now we are going into the APT offer session. Yeah, we'll be sharing the feedback link now. Please wait. So We have three types of training models. The masterclass, one is the masterclass which you are attending now, and second one is the flash course, which will be for 5 to 10 hours, and the third one is the full course, which will be conducted for 35 to 40 hours. So each day you'll be having for class for 75 minutes. So can you guess what will be the market price for Ansible? So the market price for Ansible is 20K to 50K. 20K to 25K, and the flash course is 6K to 8K. So can you guess what will be the AP AllPro trainings price? Anyone? You can mention in the chat box. So we won't charge that much. So AllPro trainings price is 18K for the full course and 2002K for the flash course. So, and there is a special offer for those people who have joined this masterclass. So only for those people who have joined the masterclass today, the 15 minutes offer is there. The full course is just 15K and the flash course is 999. So only for those people who have joined the masterclass today, there is an offer. So the full course price is 15K and the flash course price is 999. So if you join the class, you'll be getting free interview session, resume preparation help, we'll be guiding in professional certification, we'll be giving job guidances, and also you'll be getting special advantages like clear queries at any time with the trainer. Training is conducted at your preferred time, weekdays or weekend morning or evening. It's conducted at your preferred time. And training will be conducted at your preferred time. Daily class notes and documents will be provided. So now I'm sharing the feedback form link. So please fill the feedback form. I hope you would have received the feedback form link. Please confirm. Anyone, please confirm the chat box. Have you received the feedback form link? So okay, please fill the feedback form. Then only you will receive your e-certificate. E-certificate will be sent to your mail ID. Whatever mail ID you mention in the feedback form, to that mail ID will be sending the e-certificate. So please fill the feedback form now itself. So salary prediction. So if you are a fresher, your salary pack will be 2.5 lakhs per annum. So if you do a course and you skill up yourself, surely you will get 5 lakhs per annum. A small amount is can give a big change in your career. So that is a special, there's a special offer for only for those people who have joined this masterclass. Kindly make use of it. The full course fee is just 15K and the flash course is 999. So those who cannot make the payment immediately, I'm sharing the payment link. So you can see the payment link here. Those who have not able to pay the amount immediately. So you can pay a token amount of 1,000 and share the screenshot with us. So I'm giving you a WhatsApp number. So I'm sharing the WhatsApp contact number also. So kindly fill the feedback form now itself. So we are waiting for you to fill the feedback form. The full course fee is just 15K and flash course is 999. Offer ends in 15 minutes. So those who want to book your course, kindly make a initial payment of 1,000 rupees and book your course. Don't mention your mail ID in the chat. Kindly fill the, I'm again sharing the feedback form link. Kindly fill the feedback form. Only you will receive the e-certificate. Sharing the link again. Those are filled, don't need to fill it again. Those are not filled the feedback form. Sharing the link again. So fill the feedback form and mention your mail ID there. You will receive your e-certificate in your mail ID. So thank you guys. Thank you for your participation. Thank you so much. We are ending the session now. Thank you so much.